Think about it. If your only hope, when you look at what's going on in this world, when you look at the trajectory of history and the trajectory of culture and the trajectory of society, if your only hope is the rapture, then we may be helping further that world of darkness. The story from Ernest Gordon, I think, relates to this perspective of the world that I'm hearing from people. Imagine a world, because I think that I'm kind of strange. I like to think of the worst case scenario and how to handle the worst case scenario, which usually never actually happens. For the most part, right? How will you handle the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario, and I'm not infallible. I could totally be wrong. Maybe the world will fall into a giant prison camp. But I imagine even then it's different for the prisoners than for the prison guards, but we won't go down that road. And I imagine there's probably an administration over them living in mansions, but we won't talk about them either. But let's just say theoretically the whole world goes to hell in a handbasket and it's all total darkness and everybody's living under, maybe it's an alien invasion and all the human beings, they're the prison guards. So yes, the whole world falls into utter darkness. All right, got it. Found a way it can happen. No, don't quote me on that one. Taken out of context is totally wrong. But it's Ernest Gordon's story speaks to that potentiality. In one sense, for all those prisoners, all hope was lost. The way he described the culture was a culture of death and of survival. It was self-interest rather than self-sacrifice. There was no Christianity left. The light had totally gone out in the world. Gone. The light was out. Funny thing about a seed. The seed had been sown. The seed had been sown in those that had been raised with a Christian heritage. And that seed was there, but it was dormant. The seed was there, but it was asleep. But it got awakened. So those men who woke up and acted out of that seed, something woke them up out of the darkness. So even if all hope was lost and the whole world was to fall into darkness, his seed has been sown. And with water and light, that seed will come forth. That seed will awaken. There's so many people that were walking with God, going to church full of the Holy Spirit, and many have fallen away. But that seed is there, and it can be reawakened. Even if the whole world falls to darkness, all of the trees of the kingdom are cut down, it can live again. Hope, even in the darkest times.